could speak, we sometimes idly speculate. We tend to think of stone as lifeless, inert material. But within earshot of Monet Castle, there's a man who can tap the inner life of stone and get it to speak volumes. Michael Hoy's intimate relationship with stone is the product of years of study and training and work as a master mason in the UK, in America, and nowadays back in his native Fermanagh. When he's not carving memorials, headstones and altarpieces, he sculpts.
What's the distinction between a sculptor, in other words, someone who makes something like this, beautiful statues that were out of stone, and a stonemason or a stone carver? Would you draw a distinction between those two, or is it the same trade as far as you're concerned?
No, it's quite different. Stone carving's quite technical.
Right.
You know, you have certain parameters.
Right.
And the work, is generally speaking, has to fit into a building somewhere. So
Right.
it has to be very precise. Sculptors can sort of
Do what you like.
do what they like.
But this is sculpture.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a freestanding piece of work.
Okay. Dare I ask you, did you have a model for this, or is this entirely out of your head?
Yes, I did, but she's in here.
I see, right. But I mean, it is beautifully formed, and I have to say, without getting too intimate, it looks beautifully smooth. So she looks as if she's covered, Michael, in a fine, fine layer of dust, really, I suppose. Is that the case, yeah?
Yeah, well, it's just the dust that's been lying in the workshop at the moment.
Yeah. And will it look like that when it's finished? Or?
But I could polish that up to jet black.
It's amazing how black that is, right?
That's what is achievable.
So that could finish off like that all over.
Yeah.
And you could actually leave it like that, because
I could, but I'm not going to.
It would look very different, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, it's too dark.
You much prefer it the way it is at the
Yeah,
present
you
time.
can see all the tiny little fossils in there. This,
All these wee white marks here, yeah?
yes, that is dead sea life, compressed over millions of years.
I suppose that's what you're looking at.
That's
here,
what
really.
all limestone
this,
is.
This is all dead sea life.
That's
the whole lot of it.
That's all it is, yeah.
Yeah. So millions of years ago, these were swimming about in an ocean. Hundreds of millions of years ago.
Yeah, and then they're going to be on my mantelpiece.
And brought to life again. That's amazing. You think
Well, that's where we're going to end up as well.
Yeah, of course we are. Yes, yes. I don't know if somebody will carve something as beautiful as that out of us, mind you.
I only discovered during the course of our conversation that Michael and I had a mutual friend sadly missed. The late Tom Malarkey, the very gifted Fermanagh-born architect, designed many fine buildings, but he also specialised in church restoration and reordering. Where possible, Tom used local craftsmen, and here in St Michael's in Enniskillen, you can see the stone carvings that Tom commissioned Michael Hoy to do when he was reordering this church. The churches have been great patrons of stonemasons and sculptors down the years, of course, and Michael has done a lot of work on altars, tabernacles and baptismal fonts. But he also does headstones for individuals. And I couldn't help noticing one unfinished headstone that suggested that he and I had another mutual friend.
I actually know Rowan Hand, a former colleague of mine. What's the story behind this?
Rowan came to see me last year. He was doing a programme for Nationwide on RTE.
Aye.
And he asked me to carve his name in an offcut of stone. So I decided to go the whole hog and make a headstone for him.
Right, so he was a bit surprised, I imagine, when
He
you
was
saw
a
it.
little bit shocked.
Right, right. Did you verify the dates beforehand, did you? Yes?
He did actually. He told me his date of birth.
Right, right. Didn't think he was that old. There you go. He looks.
No.
He wears well. So this is now waiting for the addition of two more numbers at the very end of it. Is
Yeah.
that the case? Right.
Yeah.
And
I told him if he lives into the next century, I'll make him a new one.
If you both live in the next century.
Exactly.
Yeah. I have to say, I mean, it's beautifully done. The map of Africa, because he does a lot of charity work out in Africa as well.
Beautiful or not, let's hope Rowan doesn't actually need it for a very long time indeed. When we come back,